Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Microeconomic Theory 2. Today, we discuss about game theory with price competition. First of all, I would like to introduce you to the component of a game. Game must have players, rule of the game, strategy, and payoffs. Players must have more than one player, otherwise you play with yourself and it is decision under uncertainty and it is not game theory. Rule of the game will govern the game, so who can do something and can't do another thing. The strategy is choices for action. So you can choose to do this and cannot choose that choice. So we have payoffs. Payoffs mean the results of the game that you will gain or you will lose. We have two types of the game. Simultaneous game. So repeat with me, simultaneous game. Two players or more players move at the same time. And sequential game. Sequential game. So one player moves first and other players moves later. Now we turn to the payoffs metric. First of all, we can see that it is the payoffs of the simultaneous game. We call it payoffs matrix because the layout is in a matrix form. So you can see we have player A and player B on the outer space of the matrix, and then in the inner sides of the matrix, then you can see a strategy. You can do two choices: go to university and go to airport. So then you may think of what kind of game it is. Here, it is to find each other. Player B will find player A, and player A will find player B at the same time without communication. They lose the cell phone and they cannot appoint where to meet. So they have to choose where to go. If one player go to university and another player go to university too, then they both happy. A happy and B happy, that's payoff. You can see that if A go to university but B go to airport, A not happy and B not happy too. That's also the payoff. So you have the positive payoff, A happy, B happy, and the negative payoff, A not happy and B not happy. Then you can see all the payoffs in the matrix. If player A go to the airport and player B go to university, they both unhappy. But if they choose the right place together, player A go to the airport and player B go to the airport, then A happy and B happy. These are the payoffs matrix for simultaneous game. Now we turn to the payoffs tree for sequential game. We don't call it payoffs matrix anymore, but payoffs tree because it looks like a tree. Now player A moves first and player B moves later. Player A decide to go to university. Player B, now it is easy. He or she can follow to go to university too. And payoffs, A happy and B happy. Player A moves first. Then if A go to airport, now what is the decision of player B? Player B go to airport too. So they both happy. But what if player A makes wrong decision? For example, player A goes to university but player B goes to airport. Now, with something miscommunication, then they are both unhappy. And the last one, if player A goes to airport but player B goes to university, they are both unhappy as well. I would like to apply the game theory on price competition. In last lecture, we discussed a lot about the airlines industry, and I put some questions into that lecture. So, would airlines compete with price competition? If so, can we apply the game theory on price competition? We can see that the number of players, now we have two players, A and B. You can imagine of airline A and airline B. Anything, but now we just limit ourselves to just two players. Here are the rules of the game. It is said to be the sequential game and allow A to move first. Then, winner takes all. It means that we have just only one winner and the winner takes everything, leaving the loser takes nothing. But if no single winner, means they are draw or tied, both take half. The strategy means the choices that can do or cannot do. Now, they can reduce the price or keep the price stable. And what are the payoffs? The payoffs are the market size of 100 million baht. That's the winner will take all, but loser takes nothing. So we can think of the sequential game. Now we look at the payoffs tree. It is the price competition and player A moves first. It means that player A can choose to reduce the price or keep the price, but player B, if A reduces the price, B has to reduce the price too. Otherwise, B will suffer and takes nothing. You can see at the payoffs, reduce the price by A and then reduce the price by B. A takes half and B takes half. Why? Because if no single winner, both takes half. Correct. Then if player A reduce the price but B keep the price, then A takes all because A is the winner and B is the loser and B takes nothing. Now we think of A if A keeps the price, but B reduce the price. What would happen? A will turn to be the loser and takes nothing. But now B will turn to be the winner and takes all. And A, if A keeps the price and B also keeps the price, they share both winner and they share half of the market. If the airlines has to make decision on this price competition, what do you think is the result of the game? You can see that we have the price competition model called the Bertrand price competition model. Here, Bertrand suggested that they will reduce the price until the price equal to the AC. And by the assumption that the cost structure of both players are the same. You see on the screen that MC and AC of player A look similar to MC and AC of player B. That's the cost structure, the same. And here, if price of A is above the bottom of AC, what would happen? A will get excess profit and B can still lower the price. If B can still lower the price, A will lose everything because B will be the winner. You understand that? Now, if the price of A is at the bottom of AC and the price of B is also at the bottom of AC, there is no more room to reduce the price because here it is the normal profit. If you reduce the price lower than this, you will lose. You will have the loss. So it is unreasonable to reduce the price lower than this point. It is the last point to lower the price. Therefore, it is the last price. The last price is at the AC, at the bottom of the AC, and player A gets half of the market and B gets half of the market, but regardless to any size of the market, 100 million baht or 1000 million baht, they both get just the normal profit because the price equals to AC. No excess profit, just the revenue that they can get from the market, half of the size of the market of the revenue, but the profit is just only the normal profit. You see the point. In price competition model, both players suffer. They gain just only the revenue, but the normal profit in the end. So, under price competition, people don't like the situation, right? We have microporters. Microporter suggested the low-cost strategy. Microporter is a very famous professor in the world. He gives a talk, cost 1 million baht per talk. Thailand invited Microporter to come to give a talk once, and we pay 1 million baht for his talk. That's Microporter. Microporter is a hero of me. He didn't get the Nobel Prize, but he suggested a very clever model to do business. We call the 5 force model. And if I have time and opportunity, I will introduce the 5 force model to you someday. But today, the first thing that I would like to introduce his strategy is the low-cost strategy. It is based on the Bertrand price competition model that we have learned later. And you can see that Microporter suggests that if you can lower the cost lower than your competitor's cost, what would happen? You see on the screen. Here, AC of player A is lowered to be AC low cost. Now, A has more room to reduce the price, while player B do not have any room to reduce more price lower than his or her AC. Now, the price of A can be lowered than price of B because of the lower cost, the lower AC. And A can take all of the market because A has the price under the price of B. A is the winner in this price competition. But you may think that A takes all the revenue in the market, leaving B just to be the loser. So what would happen next? Because now player A just get the normal profit. You see something. If player A just lower the price a little bit than the price of B, but it's they're higher than the AC. Now player A can get the excess profit. You see the point? There's a room for having the excess profit. Second, if now it is the situation of two players, they are in duopoly in price competition. When B is the loser and gains nothing, B gets heavily lost, and B has to go out of the business and allowing A just to be the one seller in the market. What would it call? It is the monopoly. A now is the monopoly of the market, and you can see that the monopoly always gets the excess profit. A can eliminate B out of the business by lowering the cost and reducing the price. A is the winner, B is the loser. So Michael Porter suggested that as long as you can lower your cost, you will have more opportunity to be the winner in the game. This is very important. If you can think of the airline and you can see the low-cost airline coming to compete with price to the full-service airline, what would happen now? What airlines survive in the market now? Can you name some? Yes, you can find that those are low-cost airlines. Is it like the Michael Porter's low-cost strategy? It is. This is microeconomic theory. This is the power of microeconomics. And this is the power of game theory. That's Michael Porter's power to suggest that what should be done in business. You can see microeconomics can teach you a lot of things, and it is very important for the survival of businesses. I hope that I will guide you through more topics, more strategies, more game theory of microeconomic theory, and it will be more fun and more powerful to study and to know that. See you later. Today, goodbye.